Whoa, am I exhausted, guys. Just finished about a 45-minute workout, did back. Today's back day. Welcome, all pest geeks, to the workout. And this is my morning routine 3 times a week. I was a little disappointed at the beginning of the week because I wasn't able to go work out Monday. So I switched it to Tuesday and I did chest. And today is back day. Today's Thursday. And I'm doing back day. And I wanted to keep it. I'm kind of a little bit of a little OCD on this. Let me put this up just a little bit. You guys can see me better. A little OCD about, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday workout, and then trying to do cardio Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm just finding it very difficult on Monday mornings with everything. I wake up and my mind is in full gear. I am just thinking about everything I have to do for that day and all the ideas that I have. And then I wake up and sometimes I'm just exhausted. The workout is really helping me go to bed earlier and sleep better. Ever since I started working out, a lot of my back pain is gone. The knee pain is gone. Just a lot of the ailments I was having due to stress induced pain. A lot of people talk about fibromyalgia pain. A lot of it is stress induced. I mean, I was having muscle pain and everywhere and my muscles were just tight and just, I was having a massage therapist come in and give me a massage, once a month, sometimes once a week, because I was so bound up. But after I started doing the workouts, I just started feeling a lot better. And, today I'm super excited. I was able to do all the weights that I was doing. Plus I increased 2 reps to 10 reps, 3 sets of 12 reps. So I'm rotating back and forth between high weights, low reps, just lift to basically collapse till I can no longer lift, and then switching it up with higher sets at lower weights so my body doesn't adapt. And it's working out really good so far. I'm super excited, but I'm even more excited about what happened yesterday. Yesterday, woo, was it exciting. I got a mention at the Purdue Pest Management Conference. And Mark, I think it was Mark, he did this bit. I'm trying to remember now exactly his name. But he basically works for Rose Pest Control. And he was doing a bit on the news. And man, that was funny. It was a funny bit. He went through the news. It was kind of like a spin-off of not necessarily the news. If you remember Saturday Night Live, it was kind of a spin-off of that. It was really funny. And he used me in a segment that he did about the growing trend in the pest control segment market of people that are chemophobic. And I represent that remark. I represent those people. That's my business model. We are a company that focuses extensively on tactical, technical, classical IPM that reduces the risk and the exposure. Not only the risk, but also the exposure to pesticides by being radically obsessive about pesticide reduction. And so I represent that remark. I enjoyed that bit. It was amazing. I'm going to have a podcast actually on what he published, because a lot of you guys will not have privy to that. You'll be wondering, what the heck did he say? I have no idea what he said. I'm going to show you the video that I was out there. It was one of my training videos, that I was doing a live training at a company that was having some serious problems with their cost of goods, their callback rates, the amount, they were like at a 15% cost of goods, of pesticide. And what I am doing now is I am training guys around my area to do what I do, to reduce their pesticide usage it's going to be more profitable because they're going from a 15, 12, 13, 9% use down to a 3%. And then what I'm doing is I'm teaching them how to reduce inside the amount of chemical they need to totally eliminate in South Florida the need for indoor spraying of any type, including crack and crevice application, and solving all these problems with nothing more than baits, because the baits are there for a lot of problems. Understand that 95% of our business is divided between 50% German cockroach and American cockroach and 50% ant service. And then maybe 5% on silverfish, and then the rest are occasional invaders. And we solve that problem from the outside. But I am fanatical about indoor air quality, the use of any contact with any surface, including floors, and including utensils, cabinets. We make a brand promise to our clients that we're going to reduce the amount of exposure and pesticide use in their home when compared to a traditional baseboard spray service by over 95%. And that's proven not by me. That's actually proven by the same studies put out by the universities like Purdue, who put out all these studies, and they demonstrate how to do it. And if you would just read the studies, you would see that I'm right. But I can see how what I said in that video could be taken out of context. And the fact that it was only a snippet in time, you don't have enough context in that video unless you watch the whole video, because it was exclusively for ant control. And I was teaching these 10 to 12 technicians at this one company how we solve all these problems, and how they're still struggling because they're getting 20% callback rates on ant problems while we're getting 6%, yet we're using 75% less chemical than they are, and we're putting zero spray indoors when they are. So that was the challenge to them. I was challenging them, and I was very, very braggadocious, and I was very, very, very radical in that video, because that's how I am. We're about radical pesticide reduction. So guys, I'm going to do a podcast, and I'm going to show that video on what it is that I actually did. And I said one thing, and then, the question was, how do you control then spiders? Well, the class wasn't on spiders. The class was on ants. And that's how it was taken out of context, because it wasn't an entire symposium. I deal with spiders in that video very simply by using Ecovia WD dust. And we dust soffits, and we dust around windows, and even indoors, if we dust corners with a Webster, we totally knock out and eradicate spiders without the need of a pyrethroid. And the whole idea that is that another thing that was mentioned in the video is how I don't represent the chemical industry. And their position was that they do represent the chemical industry. I don't. I represent the pest control industry. It's just like a doctor that doesn't represent the pharmaceutical industry. He represents the medical field. I represent the pest control industry, not the chemical industry. We use chemicals, but if I taught everyone around the world right now how to do what I do, and they actually embraced it, and they actually did it, pesticide manufacturers would see a drop in sales by about 50%. So the fact that there really is no sincere interest in the industry to really do IPM the way I do it, where I just basically took at face value the studies that were put out. I took things that you do at AIB facilities, things you do at SQL facilities, things that are in protocol with organic facilities, and how you have to use the least toxic method first of using traps and using glue boards and using monitoring and exclusion first to get rid of it. Yes, initially we have to use the chemical to get rid of infestations, because when we usually get called in, there is an infestation. But then after that, we don't have to do it anymore. We only have to worry about outside and preventing it outside. And then on top of that, we're getting radical with that too, where we're going to products that require no PPE. We're going to products that don't even have a warning or caution statements on them. They have actually no statement on them. And we're going to those products, and we're going to a lot of products that are organic facilities approved. And we're just basically, I asked my question one day to myself. This is how I came up with this. I was sitting there about 13 years ago, and I asked myself, Frank, what would you do if you were treating a hospital surgical room? And I just asked myself that question. I mean, that came up to me. That's the most sensitive place in the world to perform a pest control. And I asked myself, what would you do? What would Frank do? And then I started investigating on what they did. And I basically developed my integrated pest management program, which is what I was trying to franchise. It's nothing new, guys. All I do is promise the client that we're going to treat their home just like if it was a hospital surgical room, just like if it was a hospital bedroom, just like if it was a hospital kitchen. It was an audited facility. We're bringing that technology to the home, and we're charging a super premium price to do it because there is a market out there for that. And I don't promise the client we're using an organic product. We're using an organic facilities compliant service. We're using an audited facility compliant service in the home, which is what can be done with any company. The problem is when you have a large company and an old company, you can't turn that ship around. So guys like you and me who are having small companies with 5, 6, 7, 10 employees, we can take it and turn it into an eco-friendly company very easy and compete in that arena. But we started green from the ground up. The fact that I do have 5 100% 25B services for fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, plants, fruit trees, lawns that we can do. They're all outdoor services. We do not use 25B indoors. And the reason we don't use 25B indoors is because of allergens, and you can trigger allergens. And if the person has asthma, you can trigger an asthma attack. If a person has a skin allergy or a respiratory allergy, it can get triggered by using 25B products indoor. So we don't do it. We use a technical IPM service, which is bait only. It's put in where nobody touches it. Nobody's ever going to contact. One of the other comments that he made in the video was he compared a bait percentage of active ingredient to a liquid application of active ingredient percentage. And he showed where both had the same active ingredient or a active ingredient percentage in it. But when you use bait compared to a baseboard spray, you're using 95% less active ingredient indoors because you're applying it tactically. If I can solve an ant problem with 2 drops of Max Force Quantum, and he says, I don't represent the pesticide industry, yet I mentioned 3 products that are all Bayer, 2 products that are all Bayer. Well, yes, we use all the Bayer products. As a matter of fact, we use Max Force Complete, we use Quantum, and we use Baracor. Baracor doesn't even have a signal word, doesn't require PPE. It's half the rate of the original active ingredient that they put out. So this is why we're eco-friendly. For bedbug service, we're doing apprehend only right now. We're using also Thickwood by Rockwell Labs. And I will mention all the products by name because I tell these people when you see my videos exactly what I'm using, because I would like a lot more companies to be like me. And I give it all away for free online for that simple reason, so that you can do it and you can reduce your chemical costs, you can reduce the exposure, you can reduce the risk, and you can be totally radical about it and cater to chemophobe clients. That is what I'm all about. So my marketing strategy is catering to chemophobe clients by showing them. Now, we're transparent, we're honest in our sales presentation, but our marketing brings that client in, and that's the job of marketing, is to bring that client in. And it is our job as salespeople to explain to them exactly what we do, why we're not organic, we're organic compliant. We do these services in organic facilities now that have organic certifications. And that's how we learn to do it. So we bring that exact same strategy into the home, and this is what we promise them. And we don't promise them we're going to use mint oil. A lot of companies are just promising mint oil. They sell mint oil. We're not going to solve an ant problem in South Florida with Essentia, guys. We're not going to do it. So I'm going to show you through a podcast I'm going to do, where I'm going to do a screenshot of the actual footage that I used. And anybody who's smart enough knows what exactly I'm talking about. But I do thank him because he does follow the podcast, and he did mention that he does follow the podcast. And the reason he used me as an example is because he does follow me. So there is a lot of people could interpret that the wrong way. and would get highly upset. But the fact is that I'm flattered that my name now is plastered in Purdue University, in a Purdue Pest Management Conference, that they used me as an example. And a lot of people would never produce videos for this reason, because what if they use me out of context? What if they take a soundbite? What if, you know what? I don't care, because my actions, I've had 300 podcasts that I've done, and I'm on the record as saying all this. I am not shy about it. One of the big challenges that I was having with this company is that they hired all pest control technicians with previous experience from other companies, and all of them were doing something different. And all of them were having 20% callback rates. All of them were having enormous callback rates, mostly on ants. They could have done simple things in the home to seal and foam and do simple things and stopped a lot of the large word service, and they didn't. And this is the challenge that I had for him. I said, the problem that you're having is you did exactly what I've been saying not to do, because I look people in the eye and I tell them the truth, whether they want to hear it or not. And you've been doing exactly what I told you not to do. Don't hire people from the industry with bad habits, because now they're going to want to do it their own way. So they had a CPO that had no control over his people. You had the manufacturer's reps coming in and pitching product and how they use their product and saying, this is how you would bring it in. And now they were using everybody's products, yet they had no protocol. They had no technical director to create a protocol to show them how incorporating those products. And what I told them is 90% of the products you're using right now, in order to use my method, you have to get rid of. And all the technicians were up in arms saying, well, we can't do it. It can't be controlled your way. It can't be done. Yet I'm doing it in South Florida, and I've been doing it for 9 years. So this is the problem that you have in the industry. And I proved it to him. And I said, I'm proving to you right now in front of your own eyes why it is. I say, don't hire people from the industry that you can't have. And then you got to have solid protocols. He said, I want your protocols. I want to do the eco-friendly thing. I want to do this. I want to bring it in. And I said, okay, here it is. Here's the whole kit and caboodle. And the technicians threw their hands in the air and says, it can't be done. Can't be done. Because I've been doing this for 12 years. I've been doing this for 20 years. It can't be done. That's the challenge. And as long as the industry says it can't be done, I'll be laughing all the way to the bank, taking all that clientele that is quickly changing their mind, all of those millennials that are having children, that don't want chemicals in their home, that are vegans, that are vegetarians, that are living a healthier lifestyle, that have bought all of the, produce from the market that is organic, that are buying all of the organic products for their home and the safer products for their home, and they're having it in their home, and they want me in their home. And this is why I'm so excited that this is the same thing I heard when Austin Frischman stood up in a class and says the future of pest control is green. 14 years ago, I heard him, and I took that to heart. And here I am in the same university that he taught at. I'm being mentioned. That is a testimony to what I've done and what I've accomplished in the last 6 years on my podcast, preaching to you guys eco-friendly, organic compliant IPM services, that it can be done. It can be done right, and it can be modified. I'm just teaching another company in Arizona all my protocols to him to do, and he's going to have to adapt it now because you got scorpions over there. And how do you do a scorpion service? And we're doing integrated scorpion management. And I told him, look at scorpion repel and integrate that into your program. And now you have a complete service. So it's about guys doing new things, not being afraid to challenge the status quo, not being afraid to go against the grain, because that's exactly what I did. I'm a salmon. I swim against the grain. I go against the status quo. I'm never satisfied. I'm relentless. This is why I'm so freaking excited, because now thousands of people that were listening to that got to see my logo, and my name and my face was plastered there. And that is what it's all about, because I am day trading for eyeballs, convincing people that there's a better way to do pest control, that the traditional method of pest control is dead and you just don't know it yet. It's been bitten. Like a rat takes second generation rodenticide and doesn't have to go back for a second feeding because he's already dead and he doesn't know it. That's what I'm excited about. Have a pestacular day.